WHD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time for the best 60 minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, alongside former Packer Brian Bulaga. Here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
Best 60 minutes of your day, the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour. I wish to apologize. I should have predicted because he's done it so many times. Brian Bulaga will pick players you've never heard of. And he did it again. Doesn't mean they were bad picks. Doesn't mean they were good picks, but they were people you've never heard of unless you are a very devout NFL follower. I'm not sure Brian Bulaga had ever heard of these two players, even though one is an offensive line. Good afternoon, Brian. Had you ever heard of Aaron Banks or Nate Hobbs?
I've heard of, Nate Hobbs, yes. I remember him. I was in the AFC. I played, with the Chargers. And all that. So I do know him. Banks, I know the name, but I don't know really anything about him. So I can't sit here and say I'm familiar with his game, like that meme says, like, "Oh, I was unfamiliar with your game," with the Shaq meme. So I don't. I can't sit here and say I know much about it. I don't know anything about the guy. It's a lot of money, though. It's a lot of cash.
Yes, guards are getting paid better.
Yes.
1-800-990-3776. This is a great day in which you can ask questions of Brian Bulaga. The answer to this seems very simple. Jenkins is moving to center, and he's going to play guard. That would be Banks. And Morgan right now, to me, is the backup everywhere and possibly could earn a starting job. But right now, he could qualify as the backup at every line position, probably other than center. What do you think of that theory?
Yeah, well, okay, so this is kind of what, Tausch and I talked about too when I was on Wildy and Tausch last week. And I didn't expect it. He didn't expect it. We were talking about veteran depth, right? We weren't talking about this type of depth.
Correct.
Where you're bringing in a guy for $77 million. This opens up the question now, do they expect Jordan Morgan to compete for the left tackle job now? And that's a question that we will see how that goes as the spring opens and training camp. I would say that, yes, he will be a guy that will compete. Well, not at right tackle. That's Zach Toms. No one's displacing him. So that's out of the question. Elton at center, no one's going to displace him. So I would imagine that, right guard. The left guard's not being displaced at $77 million over 4 years. So it's going to be right guard and left tackle. That is going to be where Jordan Morgan is going to compete. And for me, Sean Ryan played well last year. He was pushed last year, to be honest with you. Like, we all remember what happened during training camp, what happened during the season. He was pushed. And he battled and he played well. So, like, he's battle tested. He's ready for this. So now it comes down to, and Sheed was as well, right? He's a 7th round pick. He's had to work for this. He's had to work for his job. So these are two guys that are going to be pushed for their jobs, and they're ready for it. So Jordan Morgan, he's going to have to come in and compete and play well to earn one of these two jobs. This is not going to be a cakewalk.
But I don't think he is. I mean, I just assume he's not going to be a starter. Do you assume he's going to be a starter?
I'm not assuming. No, I can't assume that. I cannot assume that.
I would think at guard before. But because there's a debate about Morgan that people have had, maybe I made this up, that some question whether or not he can really play tackle or if he could end up at guard. Do I have that right? I'm not saying everyone, but I thought there had been and has been somewhat of a debate about as to whether or not he's really a tackle or could end up at guard. Am I making that up or not?
I thought I remember hearing something about that early when he was drafted last year. But again, this is really hard to predict when we haven't seen it, right? Like it's hard to say he can't play a certain position or he can't do it when you haven't seen it. And I mean, the coaches have seen it in training camp, obviously, but that's also training camp. I mean, seeing it in a game or seeing it in live action is a different story. So until that, it's really hard to tell. But also with that, too, we haven't seen it even at guard in a consistent manner in a game either. So I hope he stays completely clean bill of health this year and he's ready to go when OTAs pick up in training camp so we can see what Jordan Morgan's all about, whether that's competing at left tackle or that's at guard or wherever it may be. I want this young man to be healthy, ready to rock. And because if he's ready to go and he's competing at all these spots, man, that's only making this competition heat up, and that makes everyone better. So, like, I'm hoping that he's ready to go and ready to push people.
Well, and it could be as simple as they believe that he can be the next left tackle, and he doesn't have to be that left tackle this year, right?
Potentially.
Or if he's good enough, then let him be it this year. But go ahead.
Yeah, because I think then that brings into the question, are they going to pay Rasheed Walker $25+ million a year?
Well, I can answer that.
Yeah.
No.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
No.
So, like, that's kind of answering your own question right there.
Right.
And then, to be honest with you, that has nothing to do with Sheed, right? He's going to go out there. He's going to play. How he plays is, hey, I hope he plays great. I hope he makes as much money as possible. But Green Bay, when you sign a guard for that much money, and then you're going to pay Zach Tom a whole boatload of money. Zach Tom loves seeing that deal. I'll tell you that much. Zach Tom loves seeing that deal that they just cut for that guard. he is all about that.
He's
deal.
expecting more money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And again, it's $77 million, but we have to figure out a better way to do it because it's not $77 million. I don't know what number is appropriate
I'm pretty sure I saw a Rappaport report. It's 63 or 66 over the first 3 years.
Correct.
So
and how much is guaranteed to where are they forced to really play him for 3 years, or could they get by playing him for 2 if he is as good as good?
That's a good question. See how that is. But normally if someone reports that it's 66 over the first 3, that's normally that's an indicator that he's getting pretty close to that, right? Like that's normally how they report those things, but we'll see when the details come out. Regardless, that's not normally what we see how Green Bay breaks down deals, right? Like that's normally not what we see from Green Bay and how they do business. So that would be a change of deals. Not what I'm used to seeing. And
right, because they have designated him the second best offensive lineman, right? I mean, he's who are your best offensive linemen now? Maybe Jenkins at center is third, and maybe but those 3.
Yep.
And I know what you're thinking. Generally, the guy they would bring in, you'd think it'd be like the 4th or 5th guy. He's not. He's either second or third based on, as I'm sure players do it, based on what they pay him. They don't care what anybody says. The money tells you how good they think you are.
Correct. That's what it's based on, man. Like it's based on your cashier. Now you can't do anything about it if you're on your rookie contract, right? Like Zach Thomas, you can't do nothing about that.
Right.
But it's based on the second deal and what you're getting paid, right? But yes, and this is what I've historically said with Green Bay. They normally pay 2 to 3 guys on their offensive line. That's what they'll do. That's what they'll max out at, right? So if we look at this thing, they got the new left guard. They're going to pay Zach Tom. Most likely going to re-up, Elton at some point.
Yeah.
Hold the center spot, and then there we are, right? Like, and that's that's probably where we're going to be. We'll see. I mean, anything could happen, I guess, right? Like, I mean, there could be anything, but that's where we're sitting at right now with the Green Bay Packers offensive line, and quite frankly, I feel a lot better about it today, right? With the addition of Banks, obviously, Brian, but like it gives me a little bit of, it eases the nerves a little bit because now. Obviously, health with everyone is always that's the biggest unknown, right? Like, I mean, in the NFL, things happen. I get it. It happened to me a bunch, so I understand it. But you feel good about the guys you have, right? Especially the six guys that you got that Jordan Morgan and those first 5 guys, you feel good about that. Like, that's a good, solid group. So, I mean, coming into today, there were a couple questions. Signing Banks, feel pretty good. But again, we got to see him. We got to see him do it in this offense. We got to see him play. We got to see how he adapts to this offense and the guys next to him and how he plays. I mean, he's used to playing next to Trent Williams. He's not playing next to Trent Williams, right? He's not playing next to Trent Williams anymore.
That's a great point.
So,
but those are the things they look at. I mean, those are the judgments when people judge talent, where someone says, consider who he's playing against, and somebody says, I still like him, right? There's no complication as to what they explore. The complication is how they analyze it. One person says, no, he's just good because everybody knows I would be good, and I'd be like, anybody would be good next to him. And the next person goes, well, so what? I'm watching him play. There are things that you do, but those are, to me, the debates I'd love to be in a room because that's what exists. And then you have to decide which opinion is stronger. Clearly with the Packers, the opinion is the guy's good.
No, well, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that he's good, but I'll tell you this much. Life's easier when you're next to a phenomenal left tackle.
Okay, now here's hold on. Here's the question. Only you can explain it, and do so, as I say, in the junior high level. You say that strongly. And so what is – explain a play and what happens to where it makes that much difference. Because to me, Ryan, left tackle's guarding against some guy who's trying to get a pass rush, but I don't know. And then the guard next to him still has got to block against somebody else. I don't see where one – makes it easier for the next, but your tone tells me it does.
Yeah.
Given the greatness, and clearly this guy's first ballot Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah. Trent Williams is first ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay, take it away.
Yeah, so when you have a left tackle like that next to you, defensive coordinators and defenses respect that greatly, and they understand that guys like that, very smart, very intelligent, they're going to see things and be able to pick up things and communicate things that guys that aren't on that level can. So bringing stunts and pressures and twists that could confuse guys and do things, it's just not worth your time. You're going to do it to the other side or try to do different pressures and mix things up elsewhere to try to confuse the QB. You're not going to get Trent Williams on basic things. Or things that you would consider tricky or this and that. Like, you're not going to do it. So you're going to get very vanilla-looking looks against Trent Williams' side. So that's where the guard really benefits from that look. Because, every now and again you'll get a pressure. It'll be a pretty simple, strong
But they doing tricks. All the tricks are on the other side. It's a waste of time, or it's not wise to do your tricks on his side. I get it.
They'll try to go to the weaker side and do it. That's where they're going to try to pick on. They're not going to pick on Trent Williams. Why would you pick on him? It's going to not work. So that's the nature of it, right? You look at all these great left tackles, right? Like, that's why you see these guys always one-on-one, because no one's doing anything over to their side. Why would you try to bring pressure or bring twists on their side? You're just wasting things that could potentially work elsewhere. So,
or if they did, that would tell you how bad the left guard is.
Or if they're doing that, then the left guard's struggling a little bit, right?
Not a little bit.
He's having a hard time staying on the same page with the left tackle. But it was the same way, early on in my career. Obviously, when I was the right tackle at my rookie year, I got all the crappy looks. They threw everything at me. And Chad and Darren College had the nice looks, and me and Sitton had all the junk looks, man. They threw everything at us because I was a rookie. I never played out there. We had all the bad stuff. I
am assuming the information he gave you, in addition to laughing about it some, but it had to be helpful. Like, none of the stuff that occurred probably was a surprise to you because of what you were told was going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah. Campy, all the guys are like, dude, they're going to throw everything at you. Just be like, you're going to get everything. So just be ready for every pressure, study the pressures. We're going to throw everything at you in practice, even things that you may not even see. Just be ready for it. And so, like, at practice, I would get looks that I wouldn't even see in the game, and I'd have to adjust to it. And Sitton would have to adjust to it and try to communicate that. It was just like they were showing me everything. But, like, that's what you have to – when you're considered the weaker tackle, that's what you have to be ready for. Like, you have to be ready for that, and the guard next to you then has to be prepared for that.
So by the second year, could you notice a difference in what teams were doing? And did Sitton ever go like, oh, man, it's a piece of cake now?
Oh, yeah, it felt a lot better. Obviously, my year one to year two, my jump was very big. I played really well my second year and was a lot more confident in my skills and the position, and things slowed down a lot. And even if they did bring looks, it was like falling into them instead of like really trying to strain into these looks and figure them out. Like, they just kind of fell into pressures, fell into twists, passed them off easy. And obviously working next to Sitton. And obviously I got to work next to Lang and Sitton, like two phenomenal guards. That made life really easy for me. Having those guys next to me pretty much my entire career, I couldn't ask for too much more. So, but that's the way the NFL works. These D coordinators pick on weak links. So if you have a stud next to you, they're looking elsewhere, or most of the time looking elsewhere.
All right, we have questions or comments on the YouTube chat, which I'll get to, or if you actually want to call in the old-fashioned way, 1-800-990-3776, the Carbless Talk and text line. Liz is more. If I were you, I'd have a question for the doctor of football, Brian Bulaga, and if you don't, I will, or I'll give you some of the comments on YouTube, and the doctor can look at those next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN.
We're still dealing with an accident on Fond du Lac Avenue northbound, right underneath I-43. The right lane on Fond du Lac is blocked right now, so heads up with that. Other than that, the accident southbound through the Marquette has been cleared. Delays, though, are still sticking around. So from just before Locust all the way down through the Marquette, northbound slowing down from Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 94 got some backups from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And then another accident on 41 southbound, just south of Capitol Drive, off on the right shoulder. Delays starting at Appleton Avenue down to accident scene. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, mostly clear, breezy, mild, a low of 40. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, cooler, breezy with a high of 44 early, then in the upper 30s in the afternoon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
We are with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Our Pella team simplifies the process, taking time to listen and find the right solution for you. And right now, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025. James Imaging Systems. Local support, local accountability, local business technology representatives. Listen to Matheson Manufacturing President Al Leidinger.
She still checks in to see how things are going and if we need anything. So I really do appreciate that from a customer service standpoint.
Michael Quizon, IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank, discovered the benefits of working with the local team at James.
Our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
James Imaging Systems client Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, on dealing with James.
They are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Local support, local accountability, local people. Get it all with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Ever notice how wine enthusiasts often speak a completely different language? And while that language may technically be English, to most people it's anything but. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where we stock over 8,000 varieties of wine and speak many dialects of wine English to help everyone, from the wine novice to the master sommelier. So if you need an expert recommendation for wine, or maybe you know what you want and simply need help locating it, our experienced staff has got your back. No matter the budget, occasion, or your level of wine expertise, Discount Liquor will make you feel at home. Discount Liquor, unmatched selection, everyday low prices, a helpful staff, and 2 convenient locations. In Milwaukee on 51st and Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
Discount Liquor.
This is the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
The best 60 minutes of your day. The Packers, Goody, picks 2 guys you've never heard of. Doesn't mean it's bad. Paying a ton for the guard, Aaron Banks from the 49ers, and a cornerback, Nate Hobbs, from the Raiders. I don't know if you'd say they're paying him much, but it does certainly make anybody who thinks Jair is done in Green Bay a little strong in their opinion, except for me, because mine has been strong for a very long time. Brian Bulaga, the Doctor of Football, you ready for all the comments on YouTube?
Yeah. Let's
all right, this one, away. Just to see. I love Sheed. Speaking of Rasheed Walker, how good a left tackle is he? And should I love Sheed?
Listen, I think Sheed has gotten better and better as his time as the left tackle. I think
pick number 249 in the 7th round by the Packers in 2022. The question is that a bigger or smaller number than Mark Tauscher? That's in Tauscher land, I think. 249. I will have to look that up. But go ahead. Sorry to interrupt, Doc.
Yeah, no, I mean, for being a 7th round pick, and that's not a slight. Like, right, let's just be real. Like, guys that get picked in the 7th round don't normally, and that's why Tauscher and his NFL career and what he accomplished is fantastic. I mean, amazing, right? Guys in the 7th round normally don't end up making it the way Tausch did, and the way Sheed has been kind of building his career and what he's been able to kind of carve out for himself. And I think since he's taken over at left tackle, he's gotten better and better. And I think he closed out last year really strong. And that's going to give him confidence going into.
So what's the best thing about him?
Well, I think he's steady. I think he's a steady left tackle. I think, and you know what? People may take that as a slight, but being a steady offensive lineman is about as good of a compliment. Like, you want to be steady. Like, you want consistency. That's consistent, right? Like, if you're inconsistent, that means you're great one game, you're bad the next, it's poor, it's good. Like, consistency is key. That's what gets you paid. Consistent performances week in, week out. And that's what he has shown. Like, obviously, early on, he struggled. And then he settled into a
So struggled, guys were beating him, or he wasn't his base? What was his struggle?
Well, it seemed like his pass sets were a little off. It was like he was undersetting himself. Like his first initial kicks and his kick set were too like he was setting underneath himself. So when he was pushing off, his left foot was almost going nowhere. Like it was almost going up, and when it goes up and not back and back and with and depth and width, I mean you're giving that defensive end short edges. And then to compound that, he was then having to hold and grab, and he was getting penalties with that. So
remember that?
So those are the things he struggled with early, and then he got into a rhythm, got in a groove, and he started to play well as the season went on. And that's the type of player that we all had seen him play at, and he showed. So I think, listen, I like the way he plays.
Okay.
I like him as a left tackle.
You know what I'm amazed by him, and I looked up his history. So when you left Iowa after 3 years, you had like 100 trophies, okay? You were all Big Ten this or whatever. I don't even know what they were. But you had succeeded at a high level in the Big Ten, correct? Yeah, so he redshirted 1 year. His last year, he was named honorable mention All Big Ten. After the season, he announced that he would forego his remaining collegiate eligibility and enter the draft. I'm sure everybody said, "Are you okay?" The best he's got is third team All Big Ten. He was nothing. Now, granted, I think he was a 4-star recruiter, whatever. I don't know the number. You were there. If there had been somebody on your team with his level of excellence, I'm assuming everybody thought he'd probably come back for his last year. You haven't done anything. Nope. Going pro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he didn't like school, but there's a certain level of confidence, and now he could tell the world, see, I was right. Correct?
100%. 100%. Yeah. He could tell everyone I bet on myself.
Because it could have cost him a lot of money. I would think, again, I'll defer to you, that staying an extra year, the amount of money you're going to get in the draft, I mean, as a 7th-round pick, you get coins, don't you? You just think, we got a bag of change here we'll give you. If he stays another year, say he's a 3rd, 2nd-round pick, that's a huge amount of money difference. Am I correct?
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive
All right.
amount. Yeah. Massive amount. But he gambled on himself, right?
Yep.
That's like, I love it when guys do that and they gamble on themselves and they take the 1-year risks or things like that. They take the 1-year deals and they gamble on themselves and they play phenomenally and then they get the huge deal. Like, I love that stuff. Like, that to me, I love when guys have confidence in themselves like that and with those situations. But that speaks volumes to him because, yeah, I mean, if you're on his team in college and it's no knock, hey, you're 3rd team All Big Ten honorable mention, and you're like, all right, I'm out later. You're kind of like, well, are you sure? Like,
what are you thinking? Have you not watched your own tape? There's nobody, right? Am I correct? There's nobody telling him to leave college and go into the pros. No one.
Yeah.
Aside for some other reason, there could be other. But, I mean, in a normal situation, and as I said, I would have said to him, you're risking not your talent, you're risking giving up so much money.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's I'm sure that's what Franklin was telling him too, right? Like, I'm sure that's what he was
and he wanted him to come back because he was good enough to be honorable mention.
He was the left tackle for the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Starting left tackle during his redshirt freshman year, 3rd team, COVID, and then in the next year he started redshirt junior, started 10 games, honorable mention. So. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, we'll have to go look and see. Somebody can figure it out. But that, you alluded to it way more than I could say, but that's impressive.
Yes. And, and to me, that's why, I'm happy for the way he's, happy for him, the way his kind of journey's played out and how he's making the most out of this opportunity that he's been given, right? I mean, for him, he probably did not expect to have the opportunity where Dave gets hurt and he takes over for essentially the entire season, right? And gets put into this left tackle position.
And no one thought he was going to stay on. I mean, right? Yeah, everybody's thinking, we'll get this figured out eventually.
Yes. No one thought okay, this is going to go. No one thought okay, this is going to go well.
Yeah, he's going to be the next guy. Come on.
Yeah. No one thought that. Yeah. And then he plays well enough that he is the guy that stays there. And then he comes in this last year. obviously starts a little slow, but then plays just the same exact way towards the end of the year. And it's like, okay, well, here we go again. He's the same exact guy. Like, he's playing well again. So it's hard to be like, no, we don't. We want someone else in there when the guy continues to show up and perform consistently. Like, so, like, I like him. I like him as a left tackle. I think he's a good player.
I wouldn't bet against him, not so far anyway. No. I'm going with him as the left tackle this year. We'll see what happens, but old honorable mention. I'm sticking with HM, my new nickname for him. How many? I'd like to know how many starting left tackles in the NFL were honorable mention in their conference their last year before they turned pro.
Ooh,
I'm guessing very, very few.
Yeah, I would take you up on that. It's probably not many.
Not many.
It's probably not many.
All right, we've got more comments at the YouTube chat or your questions, 1-800-990-3776. We've dealt with Rasheed Walker, HM. Now we'll get to the other ones next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 43, slowing down from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. The southbound side's got some backups basically from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Still seeing an accident on Fond du Lac Avenue northbound right underneath I-43 with the right lane blocked on Fond du Lac. So careful with that. And southbound on 41 backing up from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. There is an accident there off on the right shoulder affecting your ride. Other than that, westbound 94 slowing down from 25th all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Escape to the Knickerbocker on the lake. Enjoy stunning lake views, luxurious rooms, and exceptional dining. Experience timeless charm and modern luxury in the heart of Milwaukee. Book your stay at knickerbockerontheLake.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly clear, breezy, mild, a low of 40. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, cooler, breezy, a high of 44 early, and then into the upper 30s by the evening. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
That weird Wisconsin weather is here. Snow one day, sun the next. But you can always count on Tsunami Express to keep your car clean. With 6 locations across southeastern Milwaukee, Tsunami Express helps fight that salt, grime, and mud with powerful vacuums and state-of-the-art wash technology. Technology like their best-in-class T2 with graphene for a long-lasting shine and protection. Stop at any Tsunami Express location and get your first wash free when you sign up online at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Terms and conditions apply. First wash free for new members only.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust. Get your Golden Eagles essentials by opening Marquette checking from Wintrust today.
It was senior day for the Golden Eagles on Saturday as they welcomed 6th-ranked St. John's to Pfizer Forum.
It would be a back-and-forth affair in the last game of the regular season, as it would take overtime to determine a winner. It was looking like the game would go to a second overtime when senior Cam Jones made a clutch layup late in overtime to tie it up.
Marquette with 20 to shoot, down 2. Cam Jones on a drive to the basket. Scoop layup is good. No problem with Scott, and we're tied.
Jones had a massive game, finishing with 32 points, but in the end, St. John's would prevail, winning 86-84 on a last-second basket. Marquette looks to get back on track before the NCAA tournament, starting with the Big East tournament on Thursday.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, and the official bank of Marquette University. You're listening to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
One 800-990-3776. The Carbless Talking text line. Liz is more. But before we get to that, and also the comments on the YouTube chat, more and more people watching on YouTube. The Discount Liquor Twitter poll questions, we have 2, and we'll let the Doctor of Football, Brian Bulaga, answer them. Are you happy with the Packers' free agent signings of guard Aaron Banks and cornerback Nate Hobbs? Yes or no?
Yes. Yeah, I'm happy with them.
All right.
I think they're good.
Yes, 85%. No, 15%. I vote yes as well. I can't say too much since I never heard of the guys, but Goody has Goody's been good the last couple of years, probably even better than good. Very good.
Yeah, I would agree. And
I don't know what that is. But what was that? Okay. And our second question, my personal favorite. The Packers reportedly had no contact with Devontae Adams before he signed a deal with the Rams. Who cares? Or that was a huge mistake. I think the Doctor of Football, Brian Bulaga, has a pretty good idea of my vote.
I think your vote is huge mistake.
Yes, you being funny?
No,
my vote is who cares. I don't.
That's your vote. Okay, I'm wrong.
No, I've been upset from the beginning because I don't. Okay, Ted Thompson never talked to anybody about anything, and I said I don't care. I don't want to know how close you were. I don't care. If you don't get the player, you don't get the player. And Goody didn't get Devontae Adams, and if he had spent 3 weeks with him, bought in 2 cars, what difference does it make? He's not here. But everybody else says no. You have to. The morning show, the line was, you have to. Yeah, empty offer. Empty offers are very important now to people. So, but anyway, no, I don't. You didn't get him.
No, listen. You didn't get him, and there clearly wasn't any contact. That's
well, let me ask you, because you were in a similar situation. Did you really care? And if teams had interest in you, if they didn't sign you, or maybe so you lived it. Does it make any difference, or?
Well, the only team that I cared that didn't have any contact with me was Green Bay, because I wanted to come back. So that was about the only team that I cared that didn't contact me.
But if they had contact, here's a great question. If they had contacted you and they still didn't sign you, would you have felt better that they at least contacted you?
Yeah, that we at least tried to get something done, right? And if they would have just, and they could have said they could have just said, hey, we're going to offer you league minimum, and then it'd be like, okay, well, I guess we're going to be too far apart, but we appreciate it. And we move on with life, right? And that's okay. Right? Then we just, hey, So
you believe that you deserved that, given what you had done for the team?
I don't think I deserved anything, but it's just.
Oh, that's what I would. That's the word I would use. What's your word? If not deserved, it's.
No, I just because I think when how these negotiations and things and stuff goes. The agents talk to people at the combine and they get, okay, we'll get to it. We'll have conversations later, and then conversations never happen. And then you're kind of left in the dark, and then you get how it worked out for me was I got a call from my agent on tampering period that said, hey, they're signing Ricky Wagner. And that's how I found out. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm definitely not going to be a Packer anymore. So that's how I found out. So that's the only way, that's the only thing.
All right, I might have to change my opinion that for the player, especially if you have as you did and Devontae Adams did.
Well, I mean, listen, for Devontae, this situation was, I think, a little different, right? Like this was a little different because now he's a free agent, and it wasn't like he was leaving to resign here. This was a completely different scenario, and there was no contact, but there was a lot of chatter that there was contact, but there wasn't at the end of the day. At least that's what's being reported. And like I said, Goody clearly has other things in mind and other needs that he wants to address. And that's very clear with what he's going out and getting. And wide receiver clearly isn't one of those things that he sees as of like day one free agency need. And with the money that he's given out to the guard and now the corner, the receiver position wasn't something he saw as day one need.
All right, among the questions, here's another one on YouTube. My guess is Morgan, Banks, Jenkins, Ryan, Tom by the end of the season. I'm telling you, don't sell honorable mention short. This person is. All right. And this doesn't mean because of injuries. This has to be basically says that Morgan will be the starter at left tackle by the end of the season.
I mean, that would have to be because for some reason Rasheed's not playing good.
Right.
That would be the only way, right? Because you're not going to remove a guy that's playing the way he did at the end of the season. You know what I mean? You just don't remove a guy that's playing well at that position. So it would have to be. I mean, that's if he wins the job. Because there's going to be competition. So that's already if he wins the competition.
Somebody else says
well.
I think Morgan goes to left tackle, and you have Rasheed Wallace to be the needed swing tackle.
Okay. Listen, that's a possibility. And I don't know what Green Bay's thinking.
But that's a nice problem to have as far as a team, right?
For sure.
Assuming
it's good that,
they both play well and one just plays a little bit better.
Yeah, it's good to have options at the tackle position. It's very good to have options there. It's good to have a healthy competition there, right? Those are good things. I mean, you have a starter and a guy that's taken a lot of snaps at left tackle in the NFL, and Rasheed Walker. You know what you're going to get from him. You've seen him. He's battle-tested. He's done it. He's done it in big games. He's done it in playoff games. You see what he's about. It's up to now, to Jordan Morgan to unseat that, right, and show that he can exceed that level of performance and take that job. So, it's on him to show the staff and Goody that he can win that job over and outperform Rasheed Walker.
All right, here again, these are all the chats from YouTube, and if you wish to comment, 1-800-990-3776. Trade Rasheed in 3 for Hendrickson.
I don't think the Bengals need a tackle. I don't know if the Bengals need a tackle.
And
they got Orlando. Don't they have Orlando Brown?
I don't know their team. I don't know their team at all. I just I can't. I can't see the Packers being willing to do what you would have to do for Hendrickson, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati's probably looking for a 2 or 1 for him, I'd guess. Right?
And I always just say that's what you want, or you had the same situation in Cleveland, and lo and behold, he gets all the money, and now he's not going anywhere. So I don't care what your quarterback wants, because they're talking about, they want to keep all the wide receivers. Their defense is horrible. Unless they think he's old, unless they know something we don't know, if a GM traded him, I'd fire him. You can't. I don't care if Burrow is the greatest quarterback in the history of the game of football. With their defense, it doesn't matter, and you're getting rid of clearly one of, if not the best defensive player. But
yeah, I mean, that was my question that I was talking to Jason with on Wielding Tausch today. There's certain positions when you have them, you don't get rid of them, like DNs, tackles, corners, quarterbacks. When you have really, really good ones, you hold on to them. So, the fact if they actually get rid of him, a guy that's pumping out 15 to 20 sacks a year, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. So if that actually happens, we'll see. But I just don't understand the move if it does.
Right.
The
age is different. It's not like he's 25 or something like that. But I don't. If your defense is Phillies and you got some players, that's one thing. But unless he's going, well, our defense is so bad it can't get any worse. So
or that.
So but that's I mean, given the amount of I just don't get it. And if he was still really good, I don't know how much I would give if I were the Packers. But if it's the case of where you can't comprehend how they're getting rid of him, then whatever you have to pay, you're having a chance. Just like the situation at safety, you're getting a chance to get somebody. And I don't know the money and how many years, but it's of all the things, it's the one thing that makes the least sense to me. We will break, and then, yes, it is worthy to talk about Aaron Rodgers, not because he's worthy of any discussion, but everything is important as it relates to the Green Bay Packers. And, yes, I believe it's a safe bet that Aaron Rodgers will be the starting quarterback against the Green Bay Packers in a game this season. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN. The green and gold offseason is in full effect.
What annoys me about this comment is that, Goody, you are supposed to draft based off scheme. You're talking about versatility. And so if Goody thinks the philosophy is just drafting guys based off versatility and not scheme, that is a huge problem within his draft flaws.
From interviews to breaking news, it's all here. Kyle Brust and Nortman, weekdays from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Llewellyn, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. The Saganiac Planning Marquette basketball greatest scorers. Marcus Howard has all the records at Marquette, and his greatness might also be best explained by saying he passed George Thompson. Thompson, 1,773 points when finishing in 1969. It was the Marquette career mark until 2009, 40 years later. And with Marcus Howard, Thompson the only player averaging over 20 points per game for a career. George Thompson, not number one, but he belongs in the same room with Marcus Howard.
How would you like to own a jewelry store?
Kessler's Diamonds is an employee-owned company.
And Kessler's is growing. Are you the kind of person we're looking for?
Does it make you happy to make other people happy?
Are you a problem solver?
Would you like to wake up every morning knowing that you're going to help a lot of people find joy today?
Kessler's Diamonds is people serving people.
Keep in mind that Kessler's is owned by its employees. So let me ask you this. Are you a good enough leader that you can be an owner who leads other owners?
Don't worry, you don't have to know about diamonds. We can teach you about diamonds. But the people we're looking for aren't looking for a job.
Did someone pop into your head just now?
Do you think you might know who we're looking for?
Give that person a call.
Send them an email.
Tell them to walk into Kessler's Diamonds and say to the person who greets them,
I think I want to work here.
Welcome to Kessler's.
A fantastic place to buy jewelry and a wonderful place to work.
For the store nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
1, 2, 1.
The Packers have acquired guard Aaron Banks from San Francisco. He's 27. He's got no NFL award, but he's got a great bank account now. And cornerback Nate Hobbs from the Raiders. He's 25, and he didn't get near as much money. It is the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour. These stories seem to indicate Aaron Rodgers likely, you use the words you want, the doctor of football, Brian Bulaga, Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, which means he will play against the Green Bay Packers this season. And your first thoughts, sir?
I mean, is that the confirmed rumor? Is that like the thing right now? Is that valid?
I would say that would be the way to bet.
Okay. If it goes that way, and he does play against Green Bay, that will make. And where is that, at home or in Pittsburgh?
They are, according to Ben Brust, and I agree with him, they will be playing in Dublin. Sometime, he says September 20. Hold on, let me get the dates. And I think he's correct. But yes, they would play early in the season in Dublin.
Okay. So really, very neutral. It would be very interesting for him. And I think a great story, obviously. But it'll be interesting to see if he does go there, right? I mean, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, out of the teams remaining, would be the best fit if you look at their defense, if you look at what they have offensively, with the head coach and the structure they have. I'm not sure offensively, like the scheme offensively, what they have there, because they just, they had Fields and Russell Wilson, and I'm not sure the scheme that they run or who the offensive coordinator is right now. I feel like they go through those in Pittsburgh very, very fast there.
Let me just give you additional information for you to decide. According to a report from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, the Steelers are trying to ink a deal with Rodgers. The two sides have not come to an agreement, but this is the strongest report where Rodgers may end up playing in 2025. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so they're actually actively working on a deal. Like that's for real. So if that's true, I would assume something may get done. And I think that would be the best probable fit for him with the team that's built there already. He's got the receivers. I think the offensive line is solid enough. The running back position, I think, is good. He's got a good tight end there. Head coach is good. So, there's a lot of nice pieces there already for him. It's just a matter of going out there and doing it, right? And it's a tough division. The Ravens, the Browns obviously are the Browns, but the Bengals, it's a tough division. He's not going for – he's not going to easy divisions, unfortunately. He's not going to the AFC South or something like that. He's going to tough divisions. So it'll be interesting to see. And, if he goes there, I'll be watching a lot of Steelers games too. It'll be fun to watch.
And now, the Brian Bulaga Scouting Bureau. Is he an old man or is he still good?
I think he's still good. I think he's still good. I still think he could flick it with the best of them. I really do. I will, I think we'll get a better idea of how he is a year after this Achilles rehab. He played last year, after the year of rehab, but another year removed where he's had a full regular off season where he can train and really do what he wants to do and do all and see how he is. Listen, he's not going to be the way he was moving around wise like he was when he was 28 or 29 or in his, low 30s when I was around him in bunch. But, I still think for how sharp he is mentally, his arm is still great. He can command a huddle. I still think all those things make him a very good quarterback and probably better than what Pittsburgh has had for a long time.
If someone's listening to the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour with the Pittsburgh Steelers, they would be informing those in charge that, yeah, you should get him. Guy who played with him, Bulaga, says he can still play. Is that the proper way to describe your analysis that you just gave us? Dude can still play.
I think he can still play. I do. And people could say what they want about it. That's fine. I think he can still play. If put in the right situation, and given the teams available right now, right? Unless the Vikings decide they want to bring him in, which I don't think is going to happen, Pittsburgh is probably the best situation, right? Look at the teams available: the Giants, the Colts. Trying to think of who else, Cleveland. Who is the best situation? Probably Pittsburgh. So, given that, if he's going to play again, Pittsburgh's probably the deal.
And my next question. Mike Tomlin runs things. Very strong head coach, at least that's the perception. Aaron Rodgers, very strong quarterback. He runs things. Who's winning that battle, sir?
Oh, that's going to be an interesting dynamic. Tomlin's been doing it for a long, long time. He's got control of that locker room. He's got firm control of that organization. He's got the backing of ownership strongly. That ownership is not very shaky at all. They are strong behind Tomlin. So I don't think Aaron's going to find an issue at all, though, with Tomlin. I don't think there's going to be any problem because I think Tomlin wants to win now. Win playoff games.
All right. I say he's crazy. Do you think he's crazy? Have you ever said to anybody, this is not about his ability as a quarterback? He's just crazy. Is that unfair, accurate? Should I not say it anymore?
I think it's wild that he still wants to go out there and do it. Yeah, I think he's accomplished everything. The fact that he still wants to go out there and do it to me is, hey, good for you. That's great. You don't have anything else you need to accomplish, in my opinion. To me, you're one of the best of all time. But hey, if you feel like there's more you want to do, I'll watch. I'll put it that way.
I'll take that as a no. ESPN National. We'll be back Thursday to talk again, and again, the outstanding segment with Jason Wilde as well. And I'm assuming there will be some things that have changed by Thursday. Next.
Now that we've wrapped up all of the accidents out there, things are starting to get a lot easier. Northbound 40